We all look at the same candles, the same chart patterns, but the way we interpret these chart patterns leads to the different strategies that we have. Stacey Burke, who I learned my strategy from, has different simple strategies, but sometimes it can be hard to understand or grasp some concepts. So if you are confused by Stacey Burke's strategies, then I suggest you focus on one strategy. And in this video, I have broken down one of his strategy, the one that I personally use to help you get started as you continue learning the rest of his strategies. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. I have a free mentorship program. The link will be in the description. Let's jump into the video. Let's look at the reversal setups using failed breakouts. Now, in order for us to understand from the signal to the entry how this strategy works, we need to answer what a failed breakout is. We need to know the timing window and what signal to look for in order for us to have a reliable entry criteria. Let's jump into it. Number one is the failed breakout. Now, for us to understand a failed breakout, we need to understand the high and the low of the week. And this is a very good example because this is Monday. And as you can see, Monday has set the high and the low of the week, because this is when the week actually opens. Now, the high and the low of the week is not rigid. So if we wait for this day to close, and then tomorrow we have a breakout, so price continues to break out, and then at the end of the day, when the day closes, the close is inside of the high and the low of the week. This is when we have a failed breakout. Monday sets the high and the low of the week. Tuesday breaks out, closes outside of the range. Wednesday, Thursday, and then finally Friday breaks out and closes back inside of the range. Now, this is what we call a failed breakout. Now, if we see a failed breakout at the low of the week, this tells us to, so failed breakout is FBO. It means that we buy the next day. So the next day, the thesis is set. We are looking to buy. And then again, we have Monday setting the high and the low of the week. Tuesday breaks out, closes outside of the range. Wednesday breaks out, closes outside of the range. And then Thursday breaks out, closes inside as a failed breakout. So the moment we see a failed breakout at the high of the week, it means that we sell the next day. The bias is set for the next day. Also, when we have the high and the low of the week, for example, let's look at oil. This is the high, this is the low of the week. We got a reversal setup at the low of the week. So the same entry criteria applied on the trading day after the failed breakout can also be used on a day where we don't have any failed breakout, but price comes back to either the high or the low of the week in our timing window. Which brings us to the next step. When do we look for the signal? So timing window is very simple. For Asia, we look for our trade setup from 9 to 11 p.m. New York time. And then for London, it's from 3 to 5 a.m. New York time. And then for New York, it's 9 to 11 a.m. New York time. So we got a setup last week on US Tech 100, and let's break this trade down. Monday sets the low and the high of the week there. Tuesday breaks out, closes outside of the range, so we have no failed breakout. On Wednesday, price continues pushing the high of the week. No problem. But in our timing window, in the New York session. So that is from 9 to 11. Then we have our signal, and let's delete all that so that you can see exactly what we are talking about. So this pin sets the new high of the week because it expands the high of the week. Alright, so exactly what do we want to see? We want to see price come back to this level and break out. So as you can see, we have this breakout, and then the next candle close in as a reversal. So this is the failed breakout on a daily level. So we have the failed breakout on the weekly template to look for reversals for the next day. But also we look for the failed breakout at the high of the day or the high of the week for the reversal. Now, this is the signal. If you know where the high of the week is, then you can be able to look for this particular pattern here, which is just a breakout and then it fails to continue breaking out and closes back inside. Now, once we have our signal, so the signal is the failed breakout at the high of the week. Where do we enter? When we go to the 1 minute time frame, we are looking for our entries on the 1 minute time frame. Now we can see we have this big move down. So we want to see some kind of uptrend, price creating higher highs. And then we have to see a three bar pattern. So what a 3-bar pattern is just 3 bars going up and then 3 bars going down explosively. So the moment I saw the 3-bar pattern here, so it's this clean move up, clean move down. This is where I put my first entry is at the break of this candle. And as you can see, price broke down that level again. And we see that and this is the entry. So your entry is here. Price breaks structure to the downside and then retests. We are looking for an engulfment candle to continue moving lower. So this candle here was another entry for me. And if we see another engulfment candle, then we would be looking to add in a position. So again, once this candle closed, I had another position in. And we are targeting the low of the day. So the low of the day, where is the low of the day? The low of the day is here. This is the low of the day. So once you add in your positions, you let the trade play out, and you can see it was a nice trade. So basically, if you can be able to see the failed breakout on the weekly template, you have a thesis of where the next day is headed. Also, if you know where the high and the low of the week is, during the timing window, you can look for the signal for reversal. Once you get the signal, you just go to the 1 minute time frame and look for the entry. If you have any questions, comment them and I will get back to you. And if you got value from today's video, subscribe and I will see you in the next video.